He was 52, a man who thought he had it all, a stable job, a family, a loving wife, or so he believed. But then the signs started creeping in. She stopped looking him in the eyes when they talked. She spent more time on her phone, always turning it away. Her smile, once so warm and genuine, turned into a polite mask. Nights at home became colder, her touch distant, her laughter hollow. He noticed she started dressing differently, staying out longer and criticizing him for things she once found charming. He didn't want to see it. He told himself, "It's just stress. She'll come back around." But by the time he faced the truth, she was already gone, emotionally and physically. And he was left wondering, how did I not see this coming? This video is for every man who refuses to be blindsided. Today I'll reveal the 6 subtle signs a woman gives when she's emotionally gone, or already cheating. You'll learn not just to spot the signs, but how to respond with clarity, dignity, and strength. Subscribe right now to support this channel. We're here to give you real, authentic insights, not fluff. Like the video to show you're ready to take back control. And tell us in the comments which sign resonates with you the most, and what topics do you want us to cover next. Let's get started. 1. Emotional distance. When a woman begins to pull away emotionally, it's not always loud or obvious. The changes can be subtle. She talks less, shares less about her feelings, and avoids meaningful conversations. What was once a natural exchange of stories, laughter, and vulnerability becomes reduced to silence or surface-level comments. She may still answer your questions, but her responses feel colder, distant, or disconnected. This emotional gap is often the first sign that something deeper is brewing beneath the surface. She might feel like you've stopped listening or stopped caring. Or she could be emotionally investing in someone else, finding in them the connection and validation that she no longer feels with you. This is not just a random mood, it's a signal of a shift in the emotional balance of the relationship. To address this, it's crucial not to respond with defensiveness or accusations. Instead, create a space where she feels safe to express herself. A simple, calm approach works best, such as saying, "I've noticed you seem a bit distant lately. Is something on your mind?" This invites her to speak without feeling cornered. Avoid dismissing her feelings or trying to fix the problem immediately. Just listen. Sometimes what she truly wants is to feel seen and heard again. By showing presence and patience, you may be able to rebuild the emotional connection that has been fading. But remember, if she's already emotionally invested elsewhere, her reluctance to reconnect will speak volumes. Either way, staying calm, attentive, and clear-headed will give you the power to act from a place of strength rather than desperation. 2. Changes in routine. A sudden change in a woman's routine can be an early warning sign of emotional distance or even infidelity. When she starts staying late at work, picking up new hobbies, or frequently finding reasons to be out without you, it's not always about self-improvement or stress relief. These new activities may offer her a fresh environment where she feels admired, validated, or simply free from the predictability of home life. It's important to notice when these changes are accompanied by secrecy or a lack of enthusiasm to include you. For example, she might join a yoga class or start a book club, but avoids talking about it or dismisses your offers to join. This shift signals that she's creating a separate space, emotionally and physically, that you're no longer part of. The key here is not to confront her with suspicion, but to observe and gently engage. Instead of interrogating, show genuine interest in her new activities. Say something like, "That sounds interesting, how are you finding it?" Or, "I'd love to hear more about what you're learning there." Her response will reveal a lot. If she lights up and invites you in, it may just be a harmless new passion. But if she seems defensive, evasive, or cold, it suggests these activities are a way of escaping the relationship or redirecting emotional energy elsewhere. Your role is to remain calm, pay attention, and prepare to either reconnect with her or face the truth with dignity and clarity. 3. Guarded phone use. When a woman's phone habits suddenly change, It's often a major sign of emotional or even physical betrayal. She becomes secretive, setting new passwords or keeping her phone face down on the table. It's as if she's physically guarding something that used to be an open part of her life. The behavior might start subtly, glancing at her screen and quickly tucking it away when you approach. But it escalates to carrying her phone everywhere, even into the bathroom. These actions don't just signal a desire for privacy, they often indicate hidden communication, conversations, photos, or connections she doesn't want you to see. This isn't just paranoia, it's an observable shift in behavior that needs attention. The key is to remain calm and avoid accusations. Instead of demanding to check her phone, open a space for honesty. Gently say, "I've noticed you've been more private with your phone lately. Is there something we should discuss?" This shows emotional maturity and avoids turning the conversation into a confrontation. If she reacts defensively or dismissively, it's a signal that something deeper is wrong. If she opens up and explains her behavior, there might be a chance to rebuild trust. Either way, staying grounded and observant allows you to approach the situation from a place of strength, not desperation. Your calm reaction might even surprise her and encourage honesty, or confirm your suspicions without a word. 4. Increased criticism. When a woman begins to criticize you more often, it's rarely about the small things she points out. What used to make her laugh now seems to irritate her. Minor flaws that were once overlooked suddenly become focal points for her frustration. This isn't just a shift in mood, it's a subconscious or conscious effort to create emotional distance. By focusing on your imperfections, she might be justifying to herself why she's pulling away emotionally, or even preparing to justify betrayal. It's a mental strategy. By painting you in a more negative light, she rationalizes her detachment and her potential involvement elsewhere. This pattern isn't always about you changing, it's about her internal shift. The worst response is defensiveness or escalating the conflict. Instead, stay calm and address the pattern with gentle clarity. You might say, "I've noticed you've been more critical of me lately. Is there something on your mind?" This approach invites her to reflect and opens the door to a more honest conversation. If she brushes it off or becomes defensive, it's a clear sign that the criticism is a shield for something deeper. But if she's willing to talk, it might be a chance to repair the emotional disconnect. Either way, your calm presence and refusal to play into her criticism will show strength, self-awareness, and emotional control, qualities that make it harder for her to dismiss you or justify pulling away. 5. Less intimacy. When physical intimacy fades in a relationship, it often signals something deeper than just being tired or stressed. The warmth of her touch, the softness of her kiss, the natural comfort of her presence, these begin to feel robotic or completely absent. Hugs feel like a formality, kisses are rushed, and in bed she turns her back or keeps physical distance. This shift isn't always about physical desire. It's about an emotional withdrawal. She may feel conflicted, disconnected, or emotionally invested elsewhere, even if she's not consciously aware of it. This loss of physical closeness is her body language telling you, "I'm no longer here with you, not completely." The worst reaction is to beg for affection or pressure her to reconnect physically. Instead, focus on rebuilding the emotional connection first. Small, genuine gestures like a heartfelt compliment, a thoughtful surprise, or simply spending quality time together can remind her of the bond you once shared. Sit next to her, hold her hand during a quiet moment, or share a memory from your early days. Don't expect instant results. The goal isn't to seduce, but to remind her of the emotional safety and connection you can offer. If she responds with openness, there's still a path to reconnect. If she stays cold or resistant, it's a clear signal to prepare for deeper emotional confrontation with dignity and strength. 6. New interests. When a woman suddenly immerses herself in new hobbies, interests, or social circles and doesn't invite you along, it's a shift you shouldn't ignore. These new passions may start innocently, but when they're accompanied by a noticeable lack of inclusion, it often signals she's building a life that no longer centers around you. This isn't just about discovering a new band or joining a gym. It's about finding stimulation and validation elsewhere, possibly to fill an emotional gap she feels in the relationship. For example, she might dive into a new music scene, start following specific influencers, or join a group of friends you've never met without sharing anything with you. Her silence about these new activities is louder than words. Instead of reacting with suspicion or jealousy, approach this with curiosity and calm. A simple, open-ended question like, "That sounds interesting. What's new about this for you?" gives her space to share and invites a genuine conversation. If she responds openly, there's potential to reconnect by showing interest in her evolving self. But if she shuts down, dismisses your curiosity, or reacts defensively, it's a clear warning sign that her new interests are more than just hobbies. They're a symbol of her emotional shift away from you. Your role is to stay observant, emotionally steady, and prepared to address the deeper reasons behind her distancing behavior. Outro, gentlemen. If you've noticed even one of these signs, it's time to wake up and pay attention. These shifts in her behavior aren't random. They're signals, quiet warnings, that something in the relationship has changed. The question is, are you willing to see them before it's too late? Don't ignore your instincts. Stay strong, stay observant, and most importantly, stay true to yourself.